Oh, I'm so excited. Hello, my name is Stephan and I'm a freelance camera operator and gimbal operator based in London. So it all started 7 years ago when I was filming, when I was at university studying media production. I used to film at small bars and small clubs. Fast forward 7 years later, I've gotten the chance to film like some of the biggest festivals and some of the biggest events with like world-known artists. So I'm very proud of that. I love music in general. I listen to music all the time, and being able to have a job where I get to film music events and festivals and performers and people having fun is it's amazing. Filming an event, nothing is set up, everything is natural, everyone's there having fun, reacting in their own way to the music. The DJs is reacting to the crowd in their own way, filming those kind of moments of like a girl being lost in the music, hair going everywhere in slow-mo, like being able to get paid to film someone having fun is amazing. I think it's a really unique thing. My first professional Sony camera was the Sony FS5. After shooting with the FS5 for, I think it was around 2 years, I battle tested that camera. Like, it had dents and battle scars all over because I took it all around the world. I found out that the FS5 was being announced, and as soon as I saw that on Sony's website, I knew I wanted to buy it because one of the main features was how small it was. One of the things I didn't like about my FS700 was how long it was, and seeing how the FS5 was like half the size, I just had to get it because for me, I just want to have the smaller package as possible, and yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I bought the FS5. One of my favourite features on the FS5, I think I'll show you, is the handle here on the side of the camera. The reason why I love this handle is because by switch of a button here, you can actually rotate it. And I'm only like 5'10", so I'm very short. And when I'm filming trying to film a DJ over the crowd, I can actually rotate this handle like this, actually, like that, and then put this monitor down and put it above my head. And that just allows me to shoot overhead essentially and film with a DJ, which is great. Or if I want to be creative and shoot a DJ and shoot him upwards, I can just do this, rotate the monitor and essentially shoot upwards, which is great. Another great feature of this camera is the electronic variable ND. The great thing about electronic ND is that it's stepless, so I can put a stage, an ND filter stage on, and with this little dial here, I can actually micro adjust the brightness or the darkness of the image without affecting the depth of field. You can shoot up to 240 frames at 10-bit 422, which means it keeps all the color information and color depth, and it gives you a lot of dynamic range in post essentially. My setup for live events, it depends what type of event I'm doing, but let's say we are filming a day to night festival. I have my lenses, which are daytime lenses, which normally are just zooms, for example like this, the Fujinon 50-135, and then I have my nighttime lenses, which majority of them are all primes and they're very fast, which allowed me to get really shallow depth of field when I'm filming in a very dark tent. And they're also very small as well because this lens is quite long. Sometimes I shoot a lot of multicam events where we have different cameramen dotted around, and majority of the time I'm a gimbal operator and I'm situated on stage or on the pit, and the lens I use is actually this, the Sony 18-105 servo lens. The reason I use this lens is because I actually take advantage of the autofocus on the FS5, and I have a thumb control on my gimbal which lets me zoom in all the way from 18mm, which is really wide, all the way up to 105, which is like a telephoto, while we're still moving left and right and then using the autofocus. Yeah, this is a great Sony lens. Very affordable lens as well. The FS5 is a great camera because it gives you, again, more choices. You can say you have to strip back the camera and not attach an external recorder. You can shoot great HD image, a great HD video internally onto the SD card, or in my case, you can shoot externally and output like a 4K 422 HQ feed over to like an external recorder. In my case, I use the Odyssey 7Q. And another benefit of that recorder is that it allows you to shoot RAW. If you do, this is an additional purchase, an additional license purchase on the FS5 side. But what that unlocks is like an amazing amount of dynamic range, and it also allows you to shoot in ProRes, which is like an editable friendly codec. However, you do get the option to shoot Cinema DNG RAW, which I haven't played with it at the moment because it really eats up your data. But it's just great to have the option. I guess one of my tips that I would give to someone if they wanted advice on shooting festivals is listen out to the music. Try and predict when the music's going to drop, essentially, when it's going to kick in. So then it prepares you to have the right setting on the camera. And use your peripheral vision. When you're looking down the viewfinder, try your best to see what else is happening around you, because there might be a moment that you're missing. A logistic tip of that I would recommend to someone if they're filming an event is try and be friendly with all the people who are working in the festival, because they're also trying to do their job, and especially some of the stage managers don't like when you just rush to the stage. Try and keep an eye and see who is the stage manager and tell them who you are, and they'll try and help you out in the safest way possible, because sometimes there are a lot of pyrotechnic explosives going off, essentially, such as sparks of fire, and they want to make sure that you're safe and you're also capturing the best from the best angle as possible. So just make sure to communicate with them. All in all, the FS5 is a great camera. I've owned it for 2 years now, and I've filmed it in the snow, in the rain, on a gimbal, shoulder rigged, handheld, cradled in so many different ways. I love how ergonomic the camera is. The adjustable monitor's great. The adjustable hand grip is amazing with all the custom buttons. Being able to put my other non-Sony lenses and Sony lenses and take advantage of the autofocus and servo settings is great. And it's just so light and small. Yeah, I would definitely recommend the FS5 to any professional or to anyone who's looking to buy a Sony camera.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh no!